Is Iggy coming in here? Iggy's coming in here. Did you see the tail? Here, sorry, I don't want to screw the camera up. Here he is. Hi, Iggy. So just know that he's here for the whole video. Hey, so I wanted this to be a different kind of video today. You see this up here? This plaque right here in the corner? That is a YouTube play button, and I got it. It's a silver play button. I got it when I hit 100,000 subscribers. Well, just a few days ago, I hit 250,000 subscribers. You don't get another plaque for that. You actually don't get another plaque until you hit 1 million, which is gonna be hard. Might have to do this a little while longer. But also, it's taken me 18 years to get this far. And I want to talk a little bit about that journey and how the sausage is made, if you've ever thought about being a YouTuber, talking about sports online, all that. Well, first of all, if you're one of those subscribers, or if you've ever watched any of my videos once, including this one, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It'd be difficult to keep doing this with no people. It'd be even more difficult to have trinkets and stuff on the wall. Heck, a bunch of the stuff on the wall behind me is like art and gifts and stuff have been given from people who watch my videos. And I think that's lovely. Shout out free stuff. I don't want to say this is like a realistic look at YouTube, but like, I'm not like huge. 250,000 subscribers is a lot, but maybe spread over 18 seasons of making videos, it's not quite as much as you would think. I'm not one of those YouTubers who has millions and millions of subscribers and live in a mansion in Calabasas. I'm actually pretty niche. Like, you can play games and stuff, that's not niche. If you only play one game, that's niche. If you talk about sports, that's not really niche. If you talk about hockey, that's more niche, especially given its place in the global sphere. Like, it's big in Canada, it's big in a few other countries. In the States, it's kind of like, it's big, but it's far down the line compared to basketball and football and baseball. But then there's this channel, which does talk about all hockey. Like, I'm going to be doing cup check videos for the Stanley Cup final starting tomorrow, actually. But for the most part, this channel is about one hockey team. One, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's it. Now, it's the biggest one, arguably, the most popular one, so that definitely helps, but it's still niche. Sports are a category. Hockey is a sport within that category, and the Leafs are a team within the sport. Allow me to toot my own horn for a little bit, which is I'm going to be doing a little bit of in this video. I think all things considered, 250,000 is insane. Pat myself on the back. But it took a really long time. And it's not 250,000 divided evenly by 18. People didn't watch for a long time. In fact, here down below is what it looked like over time. Year over year. In fact, I started making YouTube videos after every single Leaf game 2 years before YouTube even started keeping this statistic. That's how long I've been doing this. Pre-YouTube keeping a bunch of its own stats. I've been doing this long enough that there are gaps in the information for unknown reasons. I don't know. I might have known when it happened, but it happened years ago. This chart shows the amount of subscribers that I was at over time. And as you can see, it's pretty backloaded on account of... Here's my theory on that. The hardest subscriber to gain is the first. The second becomes easier. Then the third, then the fourth, and you get it. The first 100 to gain is the hardest. The first 1,000 to gain is the hardest. Word of mouth and people sharing it around, that helps. But no one can share your stuff if they don't know about it. You understand? This is why at the end of every video I say click like, click subscribe, because all those things help. But tell all your friends is what I say as the third thing. The original way that my videos used to grow, and I remember this, I was in university when I started this channel. I started it my second year of university, which means I was making YouTube videos in my second, third, and fourth year at university. And I would just hear anecdotally like, hey, my friend at Guelph watches your videos. Hey, my friend at Waterloo sent me your stuff. Oh, I have a friend at Trent and they're my roommate and I heard your voice in the other room and I went and looked and they were watching your stuff. And I had a few friends who were like a year or two younger. So like I heard these stories over like a half a decade. When you hear the term brick by brick, that's how it's built. Brick by brick. Person by person. This chart over time doesn't tell you the story. To me, this chart tells you what's going on. This line graph. This is how it's built. Spikes over time. Gaining day to day, day to day, day to day. You did a good video Tuesday. Great. Next game's Thursday. Do a good video then. you gain a couple subscribers. Great. Saturday, oh, you gain 5. Monday, and so on and so on. This is what that same chart looks like. The daily chart looks like over months. This is the monthly chart. When it comes to hockey season, is every month the same? No. September, October, those are big. Players start returning to camp. There's news like trades and signings, and maybe there's a hot rookie. And then they start playing games, exhibition games, and regular season games, and who made the team out of camp? Who did this in their first game? Or maybe some guy scores 4 goals in his first game. Then there's November through, I'm going to say, the trade deadline, so roughly the end of February. Unless there's a special event like the Olympics going on, you're just talking about games. Hardcore fans are going to tune in no matter what. They want to know about every game, all 82 games. What do you got to say about all 82 games? I want to consume this. Let's go. Most fans? Meh. There's the beginning of the season, and it's super exciting, and it gets less and less interesting all the way up to the trade deadline. Now, every now and then, there's going to be individual pops. Maybe your team had a line brawl against the Canucks. Maybe something that's once in a lifetime happens, and your team loses to a 42-year-old Zamboni driver who works for them. But you can't count on those. Mid-season trades, of course that's huge news. Mid-season coach firing, of course that's huge news. But you can't count on that. But you better make a video when it happens, otherwise people are going to be mad. For the most part, beginning of the season continues to drop. Trades and news, ooh, interesting, everyone's excited. It dies off a little bit, and then the playoffs start. April is huge no matter what. It's huge at the end of the season if your team doesn't make the playoffs, because it's the end of the season. Who's getting fired? Who's getting hired? Who's going to be on the team next year? Who's getting traded, etc. If they do make the playoffs, oh, great! Then you get 4 to 7 games in the first round, which as a Leafs fan is pretty much all I got for like almost every year, actually. Almost every single year. Then if they get eliminated, yeah, there's a pop at the end of that because people want to honk on the sad clown's nose. But then, once again, who's getting fired? Who's getting hired? Who's getting traded? Who are they signing? Who are they drafting? That's the interesting stuff. And then it's sort of a wild card from there. I can't make the Leafs do stuff. And when they do stuff, I need to be on top of it. Remember a couple years ago, I made a Simone Benoit video when he signed? I didn't know who he was. You didn't know who he was either. And people go, who cares about Simone Benoit? You're seriously making a Benoit video? You're right, that's a valid question. Who the heck cares? Well, I actually have an answer for that. Uploaded August 28th, 2023, instant analysis, Simone Benoit as a Maple Leaf, 72,772 views. So the literal answer to who the heck cares about a Simone Benoit video is nearly 73,000 people. So like enough people to fill up Scotiabank Arena 3 times, then fill up Coca-Cola Coliseum, and probably Maple Leaf Square. Or here, visually, this one's even better. Sell out the Sky Dome and Scotiabank Arena at the same time and have overflow. Enough people to fill out a decent to well-attended WrestleMania. That's how many people want to watch a Simone Benoit video in the dog days of August, which a news item in August is an oasis in the desert for this hockey YouTube channel. And that's another thing. You might notice if you look at the numbers, sometimes it goes down. Like, oh, I lost subscribers on this day. If there is a day where I don't shoot a video, or I'm gonna say if I go 2 or 3 days without shooting a video, I'll lose subs. I don't really know what's behind that. I don't know. Oh, I guess this guy doesn't make videos anymore. What? No, there was no game yesterday. All summer long, I have to balance having a life and, oh, I should probably make videos at some point on an account of I'm a YouTuber and I have essentially a dormant channel. For those curious, here are some of the biggest monthly subscriber pops in the history of my channel. February 2020, over 6,200 subscribers. In fact, 6,269. Nice. What happened in February 2020? Let me think about, the David Ayres game. Yep. Yeah, that tracks. That is still my most popular video. It's approaching 1.4 million views, and it's the only video I've ever done that has reached 1 million views. The only video I've ever done on this channel that has ever reached 1 million views. There's no amount of anything I could do on camera. There's no amount of stats I can throw at you, jokes I can concoct, gags and bits I can do that will make people want to watch that video more than the David Ayres one. The Leafs, who are perpetually a laughingstock and a team that everyone outside of and including the fan base kind of hate, lost to one of their own employees who was some man. It'll never happen again. And if it does, it'll happen to them. You know what's annoying? That happened February 22nd, 2020. The NHL season was stopped due to COVID, March 12th, 2020. My channel was pistol hot. The Leafs lost, and then they went on this weird winning streak, and then Jake Muzzin got hurt, and like Travis Dermott's on the first pair, and believe it or not, that was something that like people were interested back then. We're sick puppies. And all shuts off. One day. Well, just one day. Oh, there's not going to be any games for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and oh my god, what do I do with my time? One of the number one pieces of feedback whenever I meet someone in person at a podcast event, at a book signing, whatever, is, oh, I started watching your stuff during COVID. I kept making stuff. How annoying was that? It's a sports channel. I talk about sports that are happening. And there's this huge captive audience of the entire world who is just at home looking to be entertained. We all watched The Tiger King for like a month. And I got nothing to talk about now? Well, I had to find some stuff to talk about it, and people seemed grateful. Speaking of grateful, when the season returned, August 2020, 6,230 subscribers gained. That's when the playoffs began. The Leafs played just a 5-game series and one warm-up game against the Montreal Canadiens. Nearly exactly the same amount of subscribers in that month as February. The next pop, and the biggest one so far, May 2021, 6,673 subscribers, nearly 6,700. Appropriate, because May 2021 was the Leafs playoff series against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I'll tell you what's hilarious about that in just a moment, because you might look at that and go, oh, because the Leafs lost to the Montreal Canadiens, right? That's why you gained all those subscribers. Well, you might be onto something. Here's what some of you probably forgot. Game 7 was May 31st that year. It was the last day of the month. Almost none of the subscribers represented in that 66, nearly 6,700 are from after the Leafs lost that series. June 2021, however, like 7,005. We crossed the 7,000 threshold. Because of one, the Leafs played 0 games. There was a lot of fallout, though, from that loss, and people were like, you know what? This guy's nuts. That was my second most popular video after the David Ayres one. People like my misery. I don't know what to tell you. People are interested in the playoffs in general, so they will subscribe. People are interested in when the Leafs are in it and when they win, so they'll subscribe. If they lose, other people come in and they subscribe. Remember I talked about how this channel is niche? It is. Like, there's nothing I can do to change that. There's 250,000 subscribers. How many of them are Leafs fans, realistically? How many Leafs fans are there in the world? What percentage of them are subscribed to this channel? Here's what I think it is. Slow and steady growth over the years of people who watch and support the Leafs. And there will often be spikes of people who hate them. I think that's what you see in May 2021 and what you see in June 2021. A little combination of both. April 2023, we finally get our first little bit of evidence. What does it look like if the Leafs win? 6,025 subscribers. You see, it hangs out around then every playoff time. The Leafs beat the Lightning! Ah! There's no sad clown's nose to honk because this sad clown was a happy clown. Remember this for later. May 2024, 6,943, just shy of 7,000. This is when the Leafs lose to the Boston Bruins. Sorry, it was the most recent time they lost to the Boston Bruins. Now, something's missing there. May 2023 is missing. May 2023 did not get the same spike, and the Leafs played a series against the Panthers. They lost the series to the Panthers, and then they fired their general manager. That is a busy, chaotic, interesting month, but it still didn't stack up to the month before.
for it in terms of subscriber growth, even though the Leafs won in April 2023 and lost in May 2023. Skip ahead to May 2024. Well, the Leafs lose to the Boston Bruins again. Bruins have a very big fan base. They're well aware of me. They know what to expect. They lose Game 7 in overtime after a 3-1 comeback in a series. There's a lot of elimination games. There's lots of drama. The Leafs eventually lose. They fire their head coach. And then you know what they did? They hired a new head coach. That's a lot of news. But nothing had anything on the month that we just left, May 2025, 7,075 subscribers. I mean, geez, the Leafs win a playoff series in that month, not just a playoff series, but the Battle of Ontario that had several elimination games in it. A lot of fun. Then they take on the Florida Panthers once again, a few elimination games. They fall once again. So we have a month where the Leafs were in the playoffs for most of it, right? And they should still be in it. They should still be in it. Anyway, they're not. But they were in the playoffs for so many games during the month of May. They won a series, they lost a series, and then their president got canned. Well, yeah, they didn't call it that, but he's gone. But then also, and this is worth saying, when I hit 250,000 subscribers, I spiked 1,000 subscribers. I don't know what that is. Well, actually, you know what? I do know what it is. Years ago, a buddy of mine who just loves consuming YouTube was like, hey, I noticed you don't ask people to subscribe to your channel or click like or anything in your videos. And I went, yeah, well, I don't want to bother them with that. Like, I was too cool for school, and I'm not going to be like that, man. And he goes, well, that's dumb. And I was like, you're dumb. No, it turns out he was right. I'm dumb. So I started, just trying it. I was like, hey, click like, click subscribe. They immediately shoot up, right away. In fact, I'm almost positive I can narrow down when it happened. So again, YouTube didn't keep stats for, every year. Let's go back to 2010. In 2010, the year of the Sidney Crosby golden goal, I went up 2,058 subscribers. 2011, I went up 1,605 subscribers. 2012, 758. That's it. Because I was a little baby at the end of that season and very upset about the Leafs, and also the lockout happened, so I didn't talk about very many games. I did do some KHL stuff, and some people really liked it, and a lot of people really didn't, and it probably cost me subs. 2013, hockey's back. I'm shot out of a cannon. A lot of people are shot out of a cannon. 3,592 subscribers, which was huge back then. The following year, 9,071 new subs. Somewhere right around then is when I started asking, hey, could you please do this thing? It's amazing what happens when you just ask. That's why I wrote about it in my book. Which book? Sorry, my first one. I just needed to make this video as arrogant as possible. Asking people to click like, asking people to click subscribe. They did those things. They didn't have to do those things. You just suggest it, and if they want to, great. I've asked for a lot of donations over the years for sick kids and for the Get Real movement, which you can donate to right now, link in the description. And also, most notably, Easter seals. Hey, can you do this? This thing means a lot to me. Please do this if you can. No one has to. It's just a suggestion. The result is we've raised about $500,000 since 2017 for kids with physical disabilities in Ontario. Turns out, just ask. It will not work every time. I can guarantee you it will not work every time, but it might work sometimes, and you might as well try. One last thing, there's my goals. For this channel, I just want to get better and better. That's my goal. I've always looked at it like if I get better at what I do will turn out better, people will like that thing more, and they will stay. No amount of advertising for your restaurant is going to help if the food sucks. Make good food, then get the word out, then see what happens. But here's what I'm really proud of. This channel is currently sitting at just under 90.5 million views ever. The SDPN YouTube channel, which we didn't even begin until 2016, is sitting at 92.2 million views. My channel was ahead of the SDPN channel 2 weeks ago, and it's just blowing right by me. It probably hits 100 million sometime in the next few months. Building SDPN with Adam, with Jesse, with everyone behind the scenes, that's something I'm really proud of. And that's the next channel I want to get to 250,000 and then beyond. All we can continue to do is try to make the best stuff possible, try to get the word out, and then see what happens. So, what did you think? Weird little video. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know. Don't ask how much money I make. That is usually, whenever I go to the bar and someone gets drunk enough, they work their way up to it. It starts with like, oh yeah, that's like fun. How do you get into that? By drink 3, it's like, man, you must like which parking lot, which car in the parking lot is yours? By drink 5, it's just how much money you make. Ask me anything else. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends about your lovely restaurant.